You are live. Yes, you're live now.
We're live?
We're live. We are live. What is up, everybody? I know there's a few people in the chat room already. It is Friday night. I know I don't do live shows anymore, but we decided to do one tonight. Back to the good old days of TGIF live show Fridays. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get into the chat room before we start. But as you can see from the title, we've got Dave live, special guest, another special guest, 2 nights in a row with special guests. And we have Dave's lovely wife, Lauren Lee, who's also joined the chat. She would be the female on the window, if you didn't know already. I'm going to give everybody a few. Oh, there she is. Yep. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to get in before we actually start anything. I'll keep an eye on the number of people in the chat room, and then once we get up to a reasonable amount of viewers, we'll get into it. We're at 37 right now, so. There's everybody. Biscayne Kid, Anthony Rodriguez is here. What's up, guys? Good to see you again. Everybody in the chat, welcome in. Even those of you that say you're, a couple of you waiting on snow, you're snowed in. I guess you did that grocery trip run today. I saw one of you on Instagram today post the empty grocery store. So I'm sorry to all of you up north that are having snow. We had like 75 degrees today.
Cool.
So there's everybody rolling in. We are up to 60 viewers.
Control Alt.
Joe, I saw your day. Joe got a score today. He spent $300 on like 30 video game systems. He did a haul today. Bunch of different video games. He did awesome today. Val says it's only almost midnight. It's 11. Val is a local viewer. I actually know her personally. She used to work here, still does at one of the pawn shops locally. So how you go? Even Texas is cold, 24 degrees. Sorry, guys. Boston snow. Everybody. Charlotte's getting snow. Hustle and Grow. He's out in Arizona. I don't imagine you have any snow. So sorry to all the northern viewers. I apologize for your weather. We're at 73, so it's not bad for 11 o'clock. 73 people who didn't even know I was going live. So I appreciate everyone being here and spending your Friday night with me. I imagine we won't get as many viewers because some of you like to go out on Friday nights. I've seen your Facebooks and your Instagram, so don't lie to me. Just taking a look at who else is here. I know Hector's here, and Wisconsin Thrift is here. Georgia is here. Everybody that we are used to seeing is here. So how was everybody's sales week? How did everybody do sourcing? What did everybody buy? We're going to talk to you guys a little bit about Amazon FBA, since everybody wanted to start Amazon FBA for 2017. Dave and Lauren Lee did a lot of FBA sourcing in the last couple of days, so we're going to talk about that in just a minute. I think that was the #1 requested topic that everybody that's eBay sellers, which is majority of you guys, wanted to learn how to do FBA or get started in FBA in 2017. So we're going to talk about that. Lindy is here. How you doing, Lindy? But she can't stay. Can't stay on a Friday. What are you, going out or something? You don't go anywhere. God, all you people are from up north. Most of my viewers are up north. It looks like everybody, with the exception of like 3 people, are in snow. That sucks. So people want 5 tips for starting FBA. That's a great place to start, Dave. And Dave, you're kind of out of the picture, FYI. I think you're cut off. There you go. Yeah, now she's cut off. Just so you both know you don't fit in the picture. Yeah. They want the 5 biggest tips for starting FBA. Most of these people, keep in mind, are eBay sellers. They've never done Amazon in any way, shape, form, or fashion, let alone FBA. We should talk, like, what are the 5 most important things to remember about Amazon, I guess, or to know when you first start? That question is for you, by the way. There's no one else on this call, just in case you
right. So, you know, it's not really fair for me to answer, you know, because basically, you know, I had, you know, 50 employees selling on Amazon. So yeah, it's not really fair for me. But my wife has decided that she is going to start selling on Amazon, and she doesn't care about anything that I say or know. So she likes to refer to Rockstarflipper.
I do not. I like to refer to all the literature that is on there and the 19-page manual.
So the truth is that our friend Rockstar, Casey, spent the last, I don't know, 3 hours at our house helping Lauren Lee do her Amazon account.
I will tell you, all right, we'll go with tip #1, which was tip I learned tonight, is read the 19-page manual. I have never read the Amazon FBA, Amazon Sellers Manual, And there were things in that manual that I am guilty of either violating or didn't even know existed. I'll give you the example of one thing. You have to have a choking hazard sticker on a bag. If you bag up your merchandise, like if you sell a stuffed animal and you plush it in and you sticker it, you have to put, in addition to the UPC code, you have to put a strangulation sticker on it. I had no idea, and I can tell you, I know a lot of people that violate that constantly.
You do. If the bag is over 5 inches wide, the opening, you do have to have a hazard sticker, or you can even print a label that says suffocation warning or keep away from children, because unfortunately little ones do like to put their heads in bags, and it is posed a hazard. So that was a very interesting thing that Mr. Casey, Rockstarflipper, learned this evening.
I learn every day. I tell you guys that I learn something new every day, and I learned like 10 things today. So that was one of them, which is crazy. You can buy bags that are pre-printed with suffocation warning. See that?
Yes. Yeah, you can.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. So now we'll have to look into buying those.
You can, but when I tried getting started, we were just going to do like the cheap old sandwich bags, that not the Ziploc type, but the fold over type, and then use the sticker to close them or use tape to close them. And those do not have the suffocation warning on them. So we have to look at other options at this point.
Uline, they say Uline, which is one, Dave uses Uline for his other business pretty often. I use them I've bought a lot from Uline as well. Are they expensive? Are those bags like significantly more exponentially higher price than the regulars? Or I would imagine they are. They got to be more expensive.
I don't think they're all that much more expensive, honestly. And I found that eBay actually has better prices in some cases than Uline does. But if you're buying in big enough quantity, obviously Uline has the better quantity discount. Yeah,
a lot of you ask about the shipping supplies buying online versus Uline. Uline is bulk. It is for sure bulk. So either if you're doing the volume, or if you want to pre-plan ahead, instead of buying, some of you buy 1 month or 2 months of supplies, buy 6 months and you'll get a better discount. You'll save in the long run if you're able to do that. So for everybody that asked me that question about sourcing, shipping and packing materials online versus Uline, Uline is great bulk. If you're buying 1 case of something, you're not going to save money. You'll spend more. But if you're buying,
right, absolutely. Uline also has a management tool that you can have things on reorder. So it's something that you won't have to sit there and worry about managing. It'll just automatically show up to you and replenish your stock.
Yep. Time is money. So that is another tip for Amazon, is to pre-plan, order the amount of material that you need, the packing, the shipping, especially if you're FBA, because you got to send all that in. And when you're ready to buy all that merchandise, you don't want to buy it all and then have it sit in the corner waiting to send it into Amazon's warehouse. You want to be ready. So that's number 2, I would say. It says you can get bags from eBay.
The toy is too big to eat. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, the toy is too big to eat. Right. Got it.
Oh, the toy's too big to eat, so they'll just play with the bag. Yeah, pretty much.
I know you said put a sticker on there. It just passed by pretty quickly about the toys. Don't eat the toy. It's too big to eat or something. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm too fast. This chat rolls so fast for me.
Actually, I just wanted to comment on Joseph Leonard's comment there. He was saying that he wanted to go start on FBA, but they weren't allowing new accounts. So many rules you have to follow. So that came by Casey's videos, and he tried eBay, and he's glad that he did. I would recommend even trying through Amazon again. I just activated the account a few days ago. I purchased things through Amazon, obviously, but activating the seller account just happened a couple of days. You may want to try again, Joseph.
And also, when you go to set up an account, the reason it probably failed is you chose categories that Amazon has restricted until you get to a very specific level of sales. If you go in and you say you want to sell beauty, cosmetics, there were
kind of like
there are 3 food items, so all those categories are restricted. They will deny your account if you don't say you want to sell, I don't know, toys and electronics are pretty much the only open categories, right? Clothes. You can do new clothes, electronics, and toys. And most people don't have distribution sources supply sources for those items anyway. So it makes it difficult to get started.
Hang on. I'll be right back, guys.
So you'd have to have a good source for it's got to be new clothes. And books are very, very complicated. I'm sure based on your name, you probably sell books. Books are complicated as far as which ones, Yeah, you want to sell CVA. That's a very tough category to actually get into CDs and DVDs. They don't actually give people approval to move into those categories now. Sporting goods, books, toys, electronics are all unblocked. That is absolutely correct. They are.
All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm using a new camera. If you can't tell, I got a better quality, everything, and I forgot to plug it in, and it just died.
Right. So, you know, the difficult portion about sporting goods, books, toys, electronics that are all unblocked, it's very difficult to come up with supply of any quantity that you can actually make money. The problem that I've found is being able to come up with enough material to either sell in volume to make product, or to buy low enough and sell high enough to make large profit on small volume.
Yeah.
So I just want to comment on that. Lady Dre made the comment there, why the restrictions? And a lot of those are the manufacturers or the large companies that are mandating, and the level of and standard that each seller has to basically get to or achieve to be able to source their product and handle their product. I ran into that. I did toys. We have 4 children, and I know toys and know what I just spent for them all for Christmas, and what will work on what, and what movie is coming out, and what toys are popular at this time. So I got into where the VTech line of toys, and it was restricted, it was blocked, where I actually had to have either proof of my purchase, 3 sources of my purchase, or actual approval from the manufacturer, which isn't going to happen. So I'm starting off, and I need to build some history and get some sales under my belt before I can even try to get into that line.
Yeah, a lot of the manufacturers, the bigger, like VTech is owned by V Smile. They're owned by the Learning Company, or the TLC or whatever. Yeah, they put a lot of restrictions to control third-party sellers. They just don't like it, and that sucks. Books are a great way to start. Books are not restricted. Video games are a great way to start. For the most part, you can sell iPods. There's very little restrictions on iPods. You can sell video game systems. You can sell a lot of stuff that you can find a lot of. Books are a great way that most people start Amazon, because you can find them anywhere. They're at garage sales, they're at thrift stores, they're at Goodwills, they're at Salvation Armies, they're at church stores, they're absolutely everywhere. So that's a place I recommend if you are just getting started.
What? There's a square on your face.
Oh. There is a square on my face.
That's
Why
what
is there
the comment about looks like you're in a Lego
Oh,
movie.
I get it. I understand.
Now there you go. That was awesome.
Wait, why is there a square on my face?
The camera was targeting you. It's not though. It's just tracking.
It's still targeting me, right? It's still there?
I don't think so. I think it just went away. No, it's gone.
Okay.
You're clear.
Okay. That's really weird. It's showing on my camera screen that it's targeting me. I don't know how to turn that off. My bad, guys. I didn't know. I saw that, but I didn't know what everybody was talking about. I was like, what? Listen, you guys, for the next couple of videos, I'm trying all kinds of stuff. This is crazy good quality. I really like this. I can't wait till I get the 4K one. But
what does everybody think about your video quality? Is it better? Does Casey look better? You guys can tell what he looks like?
Think about this crazy.
I feel bad for you guys because you actually see what he looks like now.
No question, right? No, we've been playing with a lot of stuff to get the quality up. So you're such a square. All right, guys, the square jokes are over. We're good. Mike, what happened to Lindy? SpongeBob, you're good now. Everybody says it's better. So all the videos going forward, from today going forward through January 17th, when I get the new camera, all these videos are gonna be much better. So I hope you guys appreciate the hard work that I did. It took a lot of time.
I can also tell you, it's just a tidbit of information. Once you get to 3 million a year in sales on Amazon, the health and beauty aid restrictions are lifted automatically.
3 million in sales? Woo!
Yes. I don't know if you remember when I hit that number 3 years ago, that my account became fully unrestricted, and the only item I could not sell was what? See if Casey remembers. What was the only item I couldn't sell? Otter boxes.
Otter boxes. Yes, stay away from
otter boxes. killed us.
Oh,
We had
and
like
Ninja, the Ninja wallets was the other one.
Well, no, the Ninja, those were because that toy maker went completely bonkers on me.
Yeah.
I was selling those things for like $20.
There are a couple, guys, if you ever get a notice from somebody on Amazon that you're selling their product, like Ninja Wallets is one, Blue Parrot headphones, there's a bunch of small manufacturers that target other sellers. They don't want you selling their stuff. They will contact you with cease and desist and takedown notices, and you pretty much have no choice but to comply. I mean, you could fight them legally, but it just gets to be too expensive. It's not worth the couple items you're going to sell. So OtterBox is one. Do not sell OtterBox. It's notorious on eBay as well, getting flagged. Used OtterBoxes, fine. Brand new OtterBoxes, absolutely not. Like, they flip their lid on that. Boondoggle Bliss, how you doing? I have been watching your material. I appreciate your material and the work that you do. Somebody turned me on to you the other day. I wish I could remember who told me to check out your channel, but somebody did. Okay. So, all right. So that is Amazon. For those of you starting FBA, I recommend personally books, video games, easy stuff. Just go in and scan stuff, and it'll tell you if it's restricted. If it's restricted, just don't bother with it till you build a history. Like, it's not worth checking out. Like, you're going to spend so much time trying to get ungated for one item that you could have been selling other stuff. I don't know.
If you want something that sells really good and you have capital to invest, and when I say capital invest, $40,000 or $50,000. It's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but there are a couple of knife distributors that you can purchase knives from at a good enough discount that are in the ranking of 150,000
or less
on Amazon. And for 40 or 50,000, you'd end up getting roughly about 6,000 pieces, and you'd FBA them immediately, and you'd actually start selling and turning a good profit. And most of those knives are operating at about a $6.50 profit.
And that's a double. It's a double on the money because they're like a $5 cost, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But you just have to. You can't go to them and go, "Hey, I want to buy 100 knives," because then they're going to be like $15 cost. So you have to be able to go in with a big enough number that it makes sense.
Yeah. Knives are good sellers. I've seen like kitchen products are another good one. Like the fruit. I saw a guy who did the tomato score. What do they call them? The tomato cores. They core the tomatoes, or apple cores. Those kind of specialty kitchen tools that you might think are like $10, $15 sellers. They are, and you can usually buy them in bulk for like $3, $4. Those are super good.
Tomato core, but okay,
Casey,
we got
Casey
it.
cooks a lot.
Yeah, Casey's not a cook.
He had salad last night.
Yeah.
Chicago Crown Hustler.
Lindy, it's nice that you're here. Lauren Lee has become quite the fan of your videos. I don't know if she likes your buying and selling or just your crazy ranting. I don't know which, but she's watched all of them. So.
I have heard of this new fangirl obsession.
She's turning.
I'm blushing, but thank you. Yes.
Yeah. She's really checking you out.
I have them open in a tab as I'm sitting there and listing.
Well, just a tidbit of news for Lindy too, just in case she cares. I actually am not a big fan. Obsessed. Just so you know.
We all know this. Okay.
Barcode scanner. We just use the Amazon app for barcode. You don't need anything but the Amazon app to scan.
We actually use hand scanners. We learned today, and I didn't know it when I was at the office, that my operations manager had purchased all Bluetooth scanners, and I didn't even know it because I'm like, hey, my wife wants a scanner at home, so I'm going to take one. And I got to be honest, I didn't know how to make it work. So I did not bring the Bluetooth scanner home, and we had a bunch of them.
No, I got the old-fashioned corded scanner that occasionally it doesn't work because it has a short in the cord. Okay.
Oops. I didn't even know that Bluetooth scan guns worked for your computer.
I know. I was so excited about it. I called you.
I know. He did. And then I figured out that it doesn't work because you need that little teeny tiny USB adapter that you get for like wireless mice or keyboards or whatever. And when you don't have that, people on eBay charge you $15 to replace it, which is bonkers. I need to be in that business because those things are from China that they paid like 10 cents for, and the thing said that they had like 850 sold over the last 30 days and like 1,000 available. I'm like, well, that was like $85,000 in sales in 30 days. Great.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're on tip number 3, or are we on 4 now, Casey?
Like number 4, number 4 on the Amazon tip for me, the biggest thing if you're starting is understand that customers are super picky, which is the reason there's so much restriction on Amazon also, because the customers expect a certain level, quality of product, customer service. And so if you give really bad customer service on, say, an OtterBox, it looks bad on OtterBox because most customers aren't smart enough, and I don't want to say not smart enough, but not savvy enough to understand that you're a third party. And so it looks bad on OtterBox's reputation, and that's why they want to control, like, if somebody's going to buy an OtterBox, that if there's a bad customer service experience, it's OtterBox's fault and not some guy in his bedroom, in Texas or whatever. So that's, expect that to provide that level of customer service, and just know that there's more returns on Amazon. It's just the way it works.
So I just had an interesting customer problem where a customer ordered an item and it didn't get to them on time. And so they left me a 1 for feedback. And we didn't have to respond to it. Amazon automatically responded to it, took responsibility that the shipping was out of our control and Amazon's control, and removed the negative. But what's neat is there's a strike through, and I've never seen that on anybody's feedback. I have a strike through on a 1.
I've seen that previously, but I wasn't aware of what caused it or how that happened. But now it makes sense because I heard about yours. So
yeah, Amazon actually monitors. Because of our level of sales, Amazon monitors my account, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, once you start hitting certain numbers, they'll help you out. It's kind of like eBay's dedicated customer service rep that you can get the Anchor store for, but Amazon they do it differently. It's a lot different on Amazon.
Yeah, so I'm like PewDiePie with Amazon. So like if I have a problem, I can go right up there and have a little sit down with them, right?
Except PewDiePie doesn't actually get any help. They just appease him to shut him up, I think.
Yeah.
Bring Lindy on. Only if you bring Mike on too. What? No. What? Mike's banned from my channel forever. Dave gets dirt cheap. My links are dirt cheap. This is where I bought all my stuff. These links came from my purchase history. So at one time, I'm not saying they're always the cheapest, but when I bought my supplies, those links that I have are the cheapest. So if you need a good place to find them, I mean, you can always look for it. But yeah, a strike through just means that Amazon took responsibility for the order. Yeah, that's exactly what it means. As far as does Amazon ever remove a negative, like without striking it through, they just delete it completely?
Yes.
I've never had to have one removed. I've never asked for one removed.
Yes.
I have 100% positive right now.
Right. I don't know why typically they wouldn't, they would just remove it, but this wasn't a problem with a product that would be directed as a manufacturer, because typically if people leave a nasty feedback and say, hey, this product's crap. Mm-hmm. Well, the product being crap has nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
it doesn't the ones that they remove. In this case, it was more about the whole shipping and out of their control, and fell on UPS actually.
It doesn't have anything to do with the customer service side of what you provide.
No, that's correct. Yeah, right.
Which is what the Amazon feedback is about. The review on the product is solely the product versus your.
That's right. And so the stuff that people have problems with, the products get removed. And then now we know what happened to the shipping. They just give me a strike through, which is really weird.
See, I have 100%.
The girl to the right, his daughter. Oh, isn't that nice?
What happened? Oh, did they just say that?
Yeah.
Seriously?
They did. Do you not read what people write, Casey?
No, I was fixing my issue. The camera couldn't handle it. I'm trying to catch up on the chat right now. Mike crashed my camera. No, I just didn't charge it before, and so it's having a hard time keeping up with battery level. It's okay. It happens to the best of us, I guess.
Don't you have a backup battery?
It's plugged into the wall.
Don't you have a backup battery?
No, and I do, but I have no idea where it's at, and it's probably not charged anyways.
Anybody use the $15 off $75?
No, if you have eBay stores, I used, if you have the basic store, you get 25 free, premium store 50 free, Anchor store 100 free. I used the 50 off for yesterday. I actually ordered materials. I ordered them Wednesday, and they actually came in. eBay is on top of shipping materials I ordered Wednesday and they came in today. I had to go and pick them up today, so it's pretty awesome. That's another perk to having an eBay store. If you don't have one, you get free material, free shipping stuff.
How do I? You know, I don't actually have any videos up, so I'm gonna ask a dumb question. But
what's up?
Because I don't have any videos up, how do I tell everybody that I have a channel even though I don't have any videos up?
You would have to link your channel. I could put it down in the description box. I have an edit button.
Well,
I would need the link from it though.
I don't know what the link is, but you know.
Dave wants to know where I'm going.
Like that extra money. I'm the extra money guy.
Look at the creepy picture, Casey.
What?
Hey, that's my snow ninja outfit, man. That's cool as shit.
Dave wanted to know where I'm filming from. For anybody that hasn't seen, I'm at the front of my house. We have like a bar room when you walk in.
I know where you're filming at, okay?
And I'm just in the dining room.
I've seen that room. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in my like the formal dining room that we've never sat at.
So I will start making videos. I have Casey's approval now to start making videos. He's like, you know, if you start making videos, like nobody's gonna watch me anymore. And I'm like, I'll make sure. Okay, I can't make sure, but I'll ask everybody to keep watching you because I was like, I'm just way more interesting. And she will be in all my videos. Actually, here's what's gonna happen. She's gonna make the video, and I'm gonna get out of the picture.
No, not gonna happen.
See, so
it's different once you actually start.
Listen, making promises he can't keep.
Why did Lindy's message get deleted?
I meant to delete the other one and not hers.
Why are we deleting messages?
Because somebody was being a troll, so I had to delete it.
Seth Allen is being a troll. What did he say?
Something about Seth. Something about cutting the coke before we ship it.
So I can tell you a story about a guy I know that used to actually ship coke.
Yeah, we won't talk about him. I know him very well.
Entire semi truck tires
and rolls of electrical cabling.
Yeah, that's
in the
right.
middle of it. Anyways, moving on. No, I didn't delete you.
I just tip number 5, Casey. Are we on tip number 5 yet?
Tip number 5 is do not ship things in the middle of tires or barrels
or spools of cable.
Cabling, yeah, because it never ends very well. I gotta tell you. Casey's gonna block Lindy. She'll never come on again yet. I tried to delete a troll message. It actually deleted the other message. So, okay, so we need a fit tip for people starting Amazon, and I think it's the 14-day payments because they stopped everybody from getting paid.
I thought
day
it was
after
15
day.
days.
It's 14, and then when you process the payment, mine takes 2 days. I don't get it for 16 days. So if I start selling on the 1st, on the 15th they process it, and the money doesn't hit my bank until like the 17th.
You know when I get paid? Every day.
Well, every day we're selling stuff, but no, they actually don't send the money, and even the grandfathered people they stopped that too.
Not me. I get my money every day.
No, Amazon you don't.
I get my money every day.
The grandfathered people were supposed to stop getting money every day.
Listen, I don't know about no grandfathers, but my account, I get a deposit every day.
Well, some of the grandfathered people had that, and they were supposed to get rid of it. So
when you sell at a very specific level, as you're asking me to explain, when you have an account that does more than $3 million a year, you get your own representatives. You're not treated like anybody else. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and my account be closed like happens to people, right?
Neither am I. So, they know who the Rockstar is. They wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, they watch your account very closely. So you have to work at it, and it takes years. And after, 3 million yearly. That's right. So yearly. Once you've had your account open for 5 years, and then out of those 5 years, you've got to be doing more than $500,000 a year in 5 years and $500,000 a year. Then you can negotiate better payment terms, or you have to do more than $3 million a year. And at that point, you get your money every day.
Well, I'll get there. No, he makes fun of my i8 every day.
I don't. No, I don't drive an i8.
He makes fun of mine every day. Every day. He tells me it was an incredibly big waste of money, that it's
Yeah,
not a
right.
it can only go 40 miles on electric, and the doors are a big pain in the butt to get in and out of.
There are some people that are 600-pound gorillas, and I'm friends with guys that are like 10,000-pound gorillas, and the things that Amazon does for them makes me look like shit. Like when you reach $10 million a year with Amazon, like they'll fly you places in the private jet.
Well, they give you Amazon has a $1 million meeting every year, and it's any sellers doing $1 million or more are welcome to the meeting. And I don't know when it was or when I'm sure it was. Like
you don't get invited.
No, I certainly don't. I
mean, I can tell you, but
100,000.
they're not gonna let you in. Okay, like I could barely prove who I am, and that's the other thing that happens. Yeah, I mean, a $10 million. I mean, come on, guys. The reality is, if you're doing $1 million a month, you're only doing $12 million a year, right? So when you're doing $1 million a day, you're doing something.
Employees, me, you guys know I only have a couple. Him, I don't know, 40, 50, I don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. You say you're doing $1 million a year. That's awesome. I mean, you're doing $90,000 a month. Those are beautiful numbers. Absolutely. You probably have 1 or 2 employees. You could be doing it all by yourself if you're working 12 hours a day.
If you want to sell big numbers, you can't limit yourself to one item. That's probably the biggest tip I would give to anybody. Somebody asked me the piece of advice that I would give to anybody selling. It's don't limit, because everybody's like, oh, can I sell 10 million in toys? No, you can sell 10 million, but you got to have different categories. You got to be good at everything. You can be an expert at one thing, but you got to be at least somewhat good at a lot of different things. I mean,
right. So to get into we're going to call it the $3 million club right now. You want to do, $1 million is a great number. You want to do 3 million, 5 million. You want to get up. First, it takes big money. Okay. The reality is, let's say you said right now in that chat, okay, I want to do $3 million this year. I'm going to say, all right, well, first, we're going to have to buy $1 million worth of inventory. So if you've got $1 million, I'm going to tell you who to call. I'm going to say, you can call GameStop, and GameStop will sell you at wholesale $1 million worth of inventory that you can put on Amazon and sell for $3 million.
That's, I mean, yeah, if you're going big thing. So let's say, let's switch it. Let's reverse you to the person that's got $2,000 or $3,000 to spend.
Well, that's why I wouldn't even know how to help. I mean,
it comes down to me. I mean, most people ask me what I spend in a month.
Right. That's why I would refer somebody to you. Yeah, like and when Lily says, I want to start selling on Amazon, she's like, how do I get started? Guys, I got to be honest. I don't know how the hell you get started.
Let's be honest. He did try to sit there and tell us he knew what he was talking about, as much as what tabs and buttons to click, and we had to sit there and show him. There was only one way to sit there and add items
that's right.
to the inventory to put up on.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and so the majority of the people, and most, there's a few guys, and I'm in a group that most of you guys, you're echoing. Turn me off.
The blank look on her face. You got a blank look on your face.
Dave.
I do most of the time listen to these guys, by the way.
Okay.
I'm not good on the show.
No, she's not. So most of the people that I deal with, and I'm in a group with guys that are doing 300, 400, 500,000 a month, a couple million a year, but I'm also in groups that people are doing, a couple thousand a month in sales. Like $5,000 a month is their target, and they only have $5,000 to work on, or $4,000 or $3,000, whatever it is. And God, this camera, you guys are just gonna have to listen to me, not watch me. But so if guys are trying to do $3,000 or $4,000 a month, say $30,000, $40,000 a year, the way that I do it, thrift stores or pawn shops or whatever, is really the only way, because in order to buy bulk or buy wholesale, you're talking about 10, 15, 20,000 in one shot. Like, you really don't have an option. That's it. If you don't have that kind of money, you can't buy bulk at all, ever.
Right. So as me and Casey have been friends for 10 years, and when Casey said, I want to start selling something, I would always say, once you start buying it and you find the something that sells, whatever that something is, you can find somebody that will sell you 10,000 of those at the time. And then when you're ready to sell 100,000, you can find somebody that will sell you 100,000 of those items, right? So what you guys are doing now is you're sourcing onesie twosie items. Once you've got something that sells like hotcakes, you can find a distributor that will sell you those by the tens of thousands. But then it goes back to, you've got to have the money.
Yeah.
Right? But at the point that you've got some sales and you've got some history, and you should have a little bit of money in the bank, you could probably go and get a loan from, well, a shark or a hard money lender. There's ways that it can be done.
That's the other thing.
Borrowed money from hard money lenders. I got some guys that are mean mofos, and he's went and borrowed money from them.
Yeah, borrowing money is something that you don't want to do, but sometimes it's worth the risk. I've done the PayPal working capital. I've done the Amazon loan. I've done every loan imaginable. So if you find a good source that's profitable and you're just missing 5 or 10 grand, you can take those loans out all day. You can go to hard money lenders. If you have the supplier lined up, do it. Like if you know it's good money, you test it, you sell for a few months, and then you've got it lined up, you're ready to go. Do it. I mean, I've done it, and I've turned that, I've borrowed 10 grand. I've spent, $1,000 or $1,500 to borrow that 10 grand. So I'm out 11,000, but I sell $25,000 worth of stuff. I make $10,000. What was $1,000? I got to keep 9,000 of my profit. So, that's something to think about too. Getting a loan at 19 is difficult, Malachi. I can understand.
But if you've got proven sales track record of more than a year, you'd be surprised what you could do. You need to be able to go to the Chamber of Commerce in your local area, and there's retired business advisors that are chamber members, and these guys can provide guidance to push your business to the next level. And there's a reality to doing $3 million on Amazon at some 30% profit. Listen, man,
that's a big number.
I'm going to say, if you're doing 30% profit on Amazon, you're doing it wrong. Okay, there are no 30% profit numbers, right? Restaurants operate at 30% profit. When you're operating on Amazon, you're operating at much larger numbers.
Well, my gross profit is 100%. Like I'm double on everything, but after Amazon takes 15-20% with shipping or fees or whatever, and then my cost of goods is 10 or 20%, I'm usually 40. I'm usually at 50 to 60% as my net. So
right, that's the point. That's my point, because somebody said in there that you're operating off of 30 or 35%, numbers don't mean anything. Well, even if we were operating at 30% of $3 million that's $1 million.
Yeah.
In profit.
Yeah. So even when you're talking about, even if it takes 10 employees to do that, who are making 40,000 a year, 400,000, leaves the owner operator clean and clear in their pocket, 600,000 pre-tax. So I mean, and
that's a huge number.
Yeah, and 40,000 per employee is a lot, because you got a lot of employees not making $40,000. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
My personal profit is 50 to 60% on Amazon. If I sell an item, I buy it for, say, I don't know, $3, and I sell it for 15. By the time Amazon takes their fees and shipping, and I'm left with 12, I make a $9 profit. So, I spent 3 to make a 9, and then of course I've got, shipping costs, overhead, materials, whatever. 50, 60% is my minimum. I don't typically make anything less than that. And sometimes it's hard.
Like how Casey's operating, making $9 profits per item. The key to success there is to have 50,000 items for sale, not 500 or 200 or 100.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. I'm kind of in the middle of that, where I'm at 3,000, 3,500 combined items, and I'm trying to get to that 5, 6, 7,000 items, just quantity, volume. Yeah.
That's all it is. It becomes a volume game, and at that point, every dime of money coming back into your pocket has to go back into inventory, right? And that's the way you continuously build it up. And unfortunately, not everybody has a lot of money that they could reinvest, but you have to set a goal and manage your money correctly. Don't, oh man, I made $500 this week, I'm going to go out drinking and partying, because that's
not the way it works. The inventory reinvestment. I get this question a lot from people. How much, if you bought $500 this week and you sold it for $1,000, made a $500 profit, you put your $500 back in the bank, how much of the $500 that you profited should you reinvest? And I say $450. I mean,
as much as you can.
I invest $1,000. If I got 1,000 back, I put 1,000 in, because next week I'm putting 2,000 in.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm guilty. I've told this. I can see Dave's cringing over this, and he'll cringe when I say it.
Snowball bigger, guys. You're absolutely right.
He'll cringe when I repeat this, but I have taken like bill money, $2,000-$3,000. The bills are due in 3 or 4 days. Taken the bill money out of the bank, went and bought more inventory because I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll sell it in 3 days, and reinvested it to resell to get the money in 3 days to just enough to pay. I've done it. I've done it.
Right, you have done it. Tell us the emotional side of that makes it a bad decision.
If you don't sell enough to cover the bills that you withdrew the money for, you will kill yourself. You will. I mean,
the snowball turns back around on you.
Yeah. Because when you need the sales, you can't get the sales. And when the bills are due and then they passed and it's done, then you'll sell everything under the sun. But I do it because it's a calculated risk on my point. Like those extra 3 days of turn time might turn into an extra $500 for me. So it's calculated. I understand what's going on. And I usually have a backup plan when I do something like that, but not always.
Right. So Joe, to answer Joe Thompson's question, right? Garage sales and thrift shops are a great way to start. So what you have to understand, whether you've got $5,000, $50,000, or $5, whatever you buy, expect it to take a turn, let's just say it's going to take 2 months before each one of those items sell. You need to lower your expectations. You're not going to put stuff up and it's going to sell immediately, right? So you need to go, I'm going to go to a garage sale this weekend, tomorrow, and you end up finding 20 items that you think will sell. You put them up for sale. In the next 60 days, maybe they'll sell them, maybe they won't.
Yeah, 1 to 2% per day. So it's going to take you 45 to 50 days to usually sell through it.
Then you don't want to get discouraged. Now the problem is you've used a little bit of money. Sunday you're going to do it again. Next weekend you're going to do it again. You're going to keep doing it until stuff starts selling. The problem is it takes a lot of research to figure out what will sell before you waste the money.
And you have to buy right.
That's right. And the problem that destroys people, it destroys people. I say it again. Because you buy a couple of hundred items and you spend your $5,000 and it won't sell, you can't get the $5,000 back.
Yep.
And it took you a year or 6 months or 2 years or whatever number of time to save that money. Don't invest money unless it's money you've got extra to invest. Don't invest money that you need for your bills.
I agree with that. I always tell everybody else to play it safe. Don't necessarily do what I do when it comes to that.
No, don't do it.
No, I am high risk, high reward. I will take the money out of our safe, out of our coin jars, and go buy inventory with it because it's just how I am.
Right.
I can't help myself.
Reality. We'll bring it up. We'll say it. Listen, there have been 3 times in 10 years, Casey said, I bought $10,000 worth of stuff, and my bills are due tomorrow.
And it won't.
Dude, can I borrow $10,000? Yes.
A couple times.
I'm not gonna let you, screw up. So then all of a sudden he's made 20 grand, and he's like, man, this is awesome. If everybody has a Dave, it's cool because I can help you out with a few $1,000.
It's the reason. Yeah.
Don't take chances with money that you cannot afford to take chances.
Completely agree. And I never rely on somebody for a backup plan, but I knew I kind of had an idea that there were
because tomorrow I won't like you.
Yeah,
tomorrow I will not like you.
There's been a few times. Yeah,
there's been a few times you let your dog shit in my front yard one time, and you didn't pick it up, and that was a problem because me and Chewy.
Your dog has issues.
Me and Chewy have a real we have a love-hate relationship.
Brian Keneally says, Dave, my bills are due. I think that was a question more than a comment.
I think if you've got bills due, and I'm going to ask you to show me your current inventory.
Yeah, and see, that's where I had an
inventory that makes sense to me. I'm going to say, okay, here's what's going to happen, dude. If you've got a few $1,000s worth of inventory, and I look at it and I go, okay, this is sellable, man, I'll float you. Dude, yeah. I got you. You got nothing to worry about. But when I look at it and go, man, these were some stupid purchases. You've really screwed yourself. not going to be able to help you out.
Seriously. Yeah, I mean, and that's where I say, oh, this camera, that's where I say calculated risk, because I knew what I had was good inventory and it would sell. It just wasn't going to sell overnight. So
I'm the sugar daddy. Yeah.
Who said that?
Is that what I look like? Is that what the shirt tells you, that I'm a sugar daddy?
If sugar daddy, I wouldn't be sitting there trying to sell things on eBay and Amazon on my own.
Oh, whatever. I make all the risks on my own. Honestly, I take all the risks by myself. I don't usually get them. It's not like I get them approved. I take them and go and tell people about them. Where I'm like, hey, so I had this great idea this morning. I bought all this stuff for $10,000. What's up? And then everybody looks at me like, are you serious? Like, what have you done? And I'm like, no, the camera just keeps dying. FBA over eBay, because you don't have to do all the work, of course. It's great to not have to store the inventory. It's great to have somebody else to handle it. They handle the customer service. No, the other camera is terrible quality. This is much better quality. I just didn't charge the camera before. So that's my problem.
What's wrong with it?
No.
Right, you got that. See, so Kelly there just said it. I've gotten stuck with stuff I thought you were going to make a killing on, right? That's where
I still have
you
stuff.
Can't, you know, all the right. You're making emotional purchase because it looks good. Then all your eggs are in one basket. Diversify products. Spread the money around. You can't get greedy, right? Because what's the saying, Casey?
When you get greedy, you get poor. You get broke.
Pigs get fatter and hogs get slaughtered.
That's right. That's true. I'm one of the greediest people you'll ever meet. And it's not because I'm callous or bad. It's just because I want to make money and I don't like leaving anything on the shelf that I think potentially could make money. But I have to step back from so many items. You guys know I post stuff online all the time about should I buy this? And sometimes I listen and sometimes I don't. I buy it even though people are screaming at me not to buy it. I'm like, I think I can make $5 on it, and I buy it. I mean,
well, there is some risk to it. You gotta take a chance.
Yeah,
you know?
There's definitely risk. You have to take.
I gotta be honest. I bought this Matchbox car the other day, and I was gonna give it to my son, and then it turned out that this was a very special Matchbox. It's actually
he bought it for himself, Casey.
Listen, it was not Matchbox. It was a Hot Wheels. It's from the Fast and the Furious. It's the car that the main guy drives, that Dodge.
That Dodge Charger? Yeah.
I paid $1 for it, and it turned out that thing's worth $25. Now, what am I going to do with that? I got to sell it.
Yeah, you have to. You can't keep it.
So sometimes when I'm out, we go to garage sales. Like, we live in the area that we live in. They have these big community garage sales once a year, and we did a video. I did a video on that with you guys when I was. That's right. We drove around on the. Yeah, he did. You were videoing. That's right. So we drove around on our golf cart. Will I share my eBay store? As much as I would like to do that,
we had a lot of trolls.
Not going to.
No, I shared his eBay store a long time ago, and he got literally like 10 trolls in 2 weeks. So his stores.
Now, Casey has showed you my limits on my eBay store. He has taken a picture of that, right?
I did.
Yeah, I have my eBay store, and I got to be honest, guys. My eBay store is crap. I got a $1.5 million limit. It's nothing special.
That's monthly, but I mean, hitting those limits is tough. But it's there. You had to get to an original limit to get to that point. So.
That's right. So here's a question that just come up: should you buy pallets? The question is, pallets of what? Are you going to buy those mixed store return pallets? Because I can tell you, unless you've got 20 employees and a 10,000 square foot building, you're not going to be able to sort, rebox, test,
list,
and ship all that material.
And then handle the customer service side of it.
And
you will not, that's right. You will not get your money's worth if you cannot process it quickly enough. This isn't where anybody can go buy those pallets. You can have a pallet showed up, dropped in your garage, and if it takes you a week or 2 weeks, you've lost the return on investment based on the expense that you've got in your time alone. The mixed store returns, it's a dangerous, dangerous game. Like your very first pallet, you might lose all your money. You might sell one thing, right? You're dealing in, once it's a store return, it is a used item. It is not new. And you cannot sell it as new. And it will be a mess. Casey, show the picture of my warehouse.
Yep. So, and I've put this on social media a lot, and a lot of people ask me about this. A lot of you guys inquire about bulk, bulq.com, liquidation.com, Groupon or Amazon, all these returns. Remember, they were returned for a reason. So you can bet that 60, 70, 80% of them are bad to begin with. Not to mention, even if they are good, again, they're not new. They're used. They're open box. They're crushed. They're
do you have the picture? You had the picture the other night.
I do. I'm scrolling through. People have taken the item and returned the coffee maker without the power cord, the software.
Or how about or just an empty box with rocks in it, Casey? Just not even the item.
No. How about the box with cat poo?
Yeah,
that was the best one.
Yeah. Okay. So I got the.
Poo was awesome.
It's really hard to show people. I've got the pictures right here, actually, of the warehouse. This is one. I'm going to try to show you guys. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Here we go. This is one picture of just all the stuff.
That was the sorting and processing area.
When we bought the pallets, yeah.
So what you can't see there's 9 workspaces, and people sat in all of those spaces, opening the boxes, processing the material, sorting it, testing it. It's a nightmare.
I got the next picture over.
Right. So, and here's how it works. When you want to buy, how many feet is that square house? That was the sorting, testing area. That warehouse was 20,000 square feet. Okay, so we had a dock where we'd unload the trucks, and then people would start breaking down pallets and putting stuff on carts, and then you take the carts. I would have been better off using conveyor belts. But conveyor belts was a bunch of money, and I'm cheap. So we'd load it on carts, and you take it to the person who works on that stuff. And I'll give you guys some examples. On one of those truckloads I got, we must have got 800 or 900 Keurig coffee makers. And there, comment earlier about where you think you're fixing to make a bunch of money. Let me tell you something. I got a call from the operations guy. I drove from across town. I'm jumping up and down. I just paid $25,000 for a truck that had 800 of something that's selling for $100 a piece on it.
Until you figure out their returns.
I made 80 grand, right? Except none of them were sellable.
They were missing stuff. They were broken. They were returns. They were damaged. They didn't have
right. Well, we did. That was our first experience with Keurig. That when they set after they've had water in them, mold grows in the water tank itself, and there's no way to clean it. You can't take them apart and empty that out.
It makes you think twice about drinking a cup of Keurig.
Yeah. So anybody that's looking into buying pallets and doing stuff like that, like definitely reconsider.
You can't buy one at the time, right? I've had this conversation with Casey 10,000 times in 10 years. You can't buy one pallet. You will lose your butt. Yeah. I mean, it just will not work unless you can buy a tractor trailer load. And when you've got the money to buy a tractor trailer load, let me tell you something. They're talking about, hey, you can buy one pallet for $1,000. When I call them to buy that pallet along with the rest of that truckload, they're $100 a piece, right? They sell them to people that want to buy one at a time. That's how they make their money. When they hit somebody, you become the mark, and they get $1,000 out of you, and they sell them to me for $100. And I've still paid too much for it.
Yeah, dumpster diving is a better source of merchandise. Accutech is a good scale.
That's right. There you go. 100 got 100 bag Chromebooks. I can tell you about the next load that caused me to come in there with, and I had dollar signs dancing. I even called Casey and had him come over there because it was unbelievable. When we opened the doors on that tractor trailer, there were 10,000 laptops, Chromebooks. There were iPhones, Surfaces, iPads. It was crazy. $25,000 for a solid 22 pallets stacked 8 feet high. It was disgusting. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys that I didn't make any money on that, because we did. When we were done processing that load and it all sold in the next 2 months, I probably made $500,000.
It was a lot all year. It took all freaking half year to do.
It took us 2 months to process it all because
power everything up, check everything.
Yeah.
Keys, trying to piece them together.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that are one person shows working out of their garage. You can't buy pallets.
Yes, now I agree with Joe H. Joe, and at the time, this was like 3 years ago.
We didn't know that.
I didn't think, hey, let's just tear these things apart and sell them for parts, because I love tearing stuff apart, you know, and selling the parts off of it, because in most cases you get more for the parts than the machines.
No.
But at that point, I was so beside myself, they went in the dumpster.
Bonafide Hustler is in the chat below. Bonafide. Apparently, I need to become the Bonafide Rockstar. You told me. The link to
again, guys, I don't have any videos up yet. I had to wait till Casey told me it was okay. So I'm gonna start making videos. But like I said, I don't even know. It's probably gonna be her.
That level.
It did. I had to ask permission because I don't want Casey to be like, hey, stop stealing my people. You know, and I'm like, I'm not stealing nobody. I mean, I'll listen. All I can do is make a video about telling you guys about a story where 3 years ago when Radio Shack was going bankrupt. Anybody in the chat remember when Radio Shack was going bankrupt and they started closing all the stores?
Absolutely.
Right. Well, I got the phone call and I liquidated hundreds of Radio Shack stores. And that was Casey's first experience into what happens when tractor trailer loads of tens to hundreds of thousands of parts come in, and we only had a handful of people. I had to call a staffing company and have them send like everybody on their payroll to my building to start processing. The very first truckload of Radio Shack was probably 50, 60,000 pieces because it was all those little tiny components and packages.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Well, people are talking about Macy's is closing 168 stores right now, which is bananas. So there's
I got a phone call about that today, by the way.
There's going to be some people looking to sell pallets and pallets of.
Yeah, you guys got to be careful, right? I mean, so on the side where I'm at, I'll have an opportunity to buy all the new merchandise coming out of all the stores along with all the fixtures, right? But you get to buy stuff for like 2 pennies, 2-3 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, Kmart as well. Kmart as well as closing stores.
To liquidate a Macy's store, it'd still be $1 million.
Yeah, because they're gonna want to sell you a tractor trailer load, which is 50 pallets. At $1,000 a pallet is 50,000. They're gonna want you to take multiple pallets. You're gonna spend minimum orders.
You're gonna take how much materials in one store, and so the contract is to liquidate an entire store. So if I had to take a whole store right now, based on the conversation I had today, they were throwing around numbers like $1 million to liquidate one store.
That's pretty nuts.
And I gotta be honest, I'm like, call Rockstar. That's all.
Don't call me, man.
Here's his phone number. Call him. He knows a whole lot of people that love to buy some pallets.
I thought about that. I thought about offering, but I just don't want to offer one at a time to people. It's just, I don't know. I'm just not going to buy that much stuff from people. Even if I had the money, I don't think I would. It just takes too much of an operation.
Hey, somebody there in the chat needs mannequins, Casey.
I got mine off Craigslist. You guys know where I found mine. I just kept hunting and hunting and hunting for them. It took me took me a couple weeks to find somebody that actually had them reasonable. I mean, people were posting them for $200 a pop, but I'm not going to spend 150, 200, whatever dollars per mannequin. I ended up waiting and waiting. Found a guy, sold them to me for 25 bucks a piece. Met him the same day. Bought 5 mannequins all at one time.
I had to sit there and go on Amazon and purchase them.
Oops.
Shamefully, I bet that.
A mannequin with a bigger butt. Plus size clothing. You guys selling that plus size clothing? They ran off.
He did. I wonder where we went.
Jada Kid needs to get that answer. Where to start? On Amazon? I need mannequins. There's too many fake people in this world. You should be able to find them pretty easy then. Mannequins do sell for $100 if you ship or shop for them on eBay, Amazon. I got mine for 25 bucks a pop used, so I did really good.
But
Super good.
mine's the dress form mannequin that I went for too.
Yeah, you got a good quality, higher quality one. Yeah, I just got ours are in the other room, but you guys are.
Half body.
Yeah.
Casey, do you have employees?
Yeah, one full-time, one part-time. Never. Christine G is asking about Sale Who. I've never heard of Sale Who.
I haven't either.
What is Sale Who? Where do I start buying as a first-time seller? I mean, you've got so many options. You've got thrift stores and Goodwills and Salvation Armies. Once it gets better weather, you've got yard sales and garage sales. Unless you live in like Texas, Florida, California, Arizona, you can still shop there. You can go to like church sales. You can certainly look for merchandise on like eBay that's underpriced or listed wrong. The bins are the best. If you have Goodwill outlet stores, Google your locations. I don't know what state you're in, but that's one of the best. Nichia, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again. Outdoor Wrangler, he got his for $75 each on eBay brand new, which is probably about right. That's not a bad price for mannequins. Brand new.
Dumpster. That's nice.
I found my mannequin at a dumpster. You know what? People find crazy stuff dumpster diving.
Sure.
Yeah, she does sell clothing, not as much as other stuff, but used clothing. Yeah, for sure. Women's clothing, Miss Me jeans, all the stuff you would typically think of that are selling. So.
Yeah.
Too quiet. You know what? I told you guys this the other day, and I'll tell you guys this again. It is not easy doing live videos. Those of you that didn't see it the other night, my mom did a live video over on Yvonne Flipping Easy channel.
Casey, you still need to send over the link to that.
The link. Yeah, I got to provide the link.
Daphne in action.
I will remember that link sometime. It's not the easiest. You guys think it's just easy to sit down here and like stuff goes wrong and stuff glitches and sound and video and just being in front of a camera and there's 200 people watching you, which is not a crap ton of people, but it's not the easiest thing. It takes a while to get used to it. And now you guys asked me about July. I'm going out to Minnesota for Midwest e-commerce show, and there's 2,500 people in a stage, and they asked me to talk to them, and I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Like, I need to get in front of 2,500 people. There was 2,500 people last year. They're still taking.
Well, it's different sitting there and getting in front of the camera and then actually in front of 25,000 people, 25 people.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. For me, it took me a little while to get in front of the live. You guys know I did all recorded videos to start, and then I did live. I kind of got the feel of being in front of the camera, and then I just kind of pretended like I was recording videos to put online, except you guys were actually watching. And so the chat actually distracted me. Answering your questions, reading the chat distracted me from the fact that I was in front of you guys. So now I have to kind of try to figure out that old imagine everyone naked, 2,500 of them on a stage in what I imagine to be like an auditorium in Minnesota in front of 2,500 people I've never met. Maybe some of them watch my channel, maybe they don't.
To be honest, the 2,500 are all Kate's family members and old.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
It's all staged. They really have nothing that they want to listen to you talk about or gab about.
Well, listen, and I asked the guy. He watched my YouTube channel, the organizer of this conference, and so he was the one that approached me. And he said, I put it out to all of our group members and our admins and all this, and everybody asked to have you here. And I'm like, great. I don't really know why me, but so now I've got to sit down in front of all these people.
Coke Zero.
Nobody cares what you're drinking.
Yeah.
No. Really. Somebody said Coke Zero a whole bunch, so I'm just letting you know Coke Zero is the way to go.
The reason why I'm so quiet on the camera too is because listening to these guys just talk constantly. You can never get the word in edgewise, honestly.
It's nothing out of the normal, and Coke is not going to pay us for you showing us your Coke Zero, by the way. I'm certainly not important enough.
Listen, the second I put that up there, satellites started linking up. They're like, oh man, Dave just put a Coke up on YouTube. It's over.
Yeah. Well, you know what? A lot of YouTubers that have like gazillions of viewers, they get paid for that stuff. But me, Coke just goes to me and goes, please don't ever show a Coke on your channel again until you're much bigger.
You're insulting us and we don't like it.
Yeah, everybody gets to me because I drink Coke Zero only because of Dave. I never used to drink Coke Zero. Kate got me on Coke Zero. Kate told me it was good for me because I used to drink Cokes at night, like late, like, oh, Coke. She's like, you better drink Coke
Zero. I have
Zero.
a YouTube channel. I don't have any videos up yet. Casey just gave me permission. Somebody just said that there's a lot of thrift stores and pawn shops in Broward County in Miami, and that is correct.
There are.
And so I can tell you a story about a guy who made a deal with one of the big pawn shops. Let's just call it Easy. I don't know, Easy Pawn. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but this guy made a deal with the entire chain, and he gets to buy every TV that comes into the store. They don't even sell any TVs because he comes and gets them all from. He drives around, got a big truck. He gets to go to every store. He buys every TV for $125
because no one wants to handle that big weight.
52-inch, 70. If somebody brings a big flat screen TV, he gets to buy it. Listen, anybody could go. When you go to a pawn shop, thrift stores, you can go in and you could make deals. You know what it takes to make deals, people? Money.
Yeah, save
and a lot of it. A lot of it.
Yeah, you got to save money. That you got to reinvest. It's a
That's
must.
right.
It's a must. Oh, person does soda once a month.
Seth, Seth is here trying to meet girls. He thinks he's in an AOL chat room.
Well, he just got AOL chatted right out of the chat. So. No Coke in my house. Yeah.
There you go. You want all our busted iPods? See, I love busted iPods. Right? Broken iPods are the best, and I can tell you where to buy 10,000. Now,
I can too.
Every time somebody's ever come and said, "Hey, man, I want iPods," and I'd go, "How many do you want?" And then they always follow up, "Man, I'd buy thousands." I say, okay.
And then
you know what happens?
They can't buy it.
Nobody ever has the money. Okay? So don't ask for everything if you don't really mean it.
Yeah. I can tell you guys know that I pick up dozens of iPods from local customers or pawn shops or my resellers and my regulars, but we know where to get thousands at a time. Not
tens of thousands.
Not in the dozens.
You have a phone call tomorrow and get you 10,000.
Listen, most of the people.
They're broken.
And when they're broken, they're broken. There ain't no, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to fix these. They're so broken. Well, you said you wanted broken, buddy. Like run over by a truck broken.
Yeah, most of the people always ask me because they're like, oh, you sold like 10 or 20 iPods or whatever. I'm like, listen, what I'm selling is nothing compared to what's available. Like you don't even understand. They're all in shock because I sold, last month I sold 20 or 30 iPods or 40 or 50 iPods. I sold one a day or two a day.
The truth is, Lindsay, when you want to go and you want to become a distributor or a bulk purchaser, really, you don't have to do anything other than you call, you say, hey, who handles bulk or wholesale? You can pick a company. You can call eBay. You can call Amazon and say, hey, who is the bulk distribution person for Amazon? They're going to transfer it to your person and they're going to go, okay, what are you interested in? And at that point, you should have an answer like, well, I've got about $1 million to spend. Because you're going to call them up and you're going to go, okay, well, I got $5? I mean, what have you got to spend? Because what you've got to spend is what you've got to spend. So if you've got buying power, you can buy from anybody, but you got to have buying power.
Yep.
So, our video here is about how you can go to thrift stores and pawn shops, and you can go to Goodwill and Salvation Army, and you can buy onesie, twosie, one-off items. You can make yourself $10,000 a month. If you want to make yourself $100,000 a month, you got $25,000 to start. So, Lindsay, the question is, what would you want to buy for $25,000? You want to buy the lowest dollar items you can with the biggest profit margin? That's what we all want. But the reality is 25 grand or 10 grand or 5 grand or 3 grand isn't going to go far. And if you weren't here at the beginning, don't invest money you have no way to replace. Don't invest money you can't take a chance on losing, right?
That's it.
I know what I want to buy, but I don't want to say it. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. We're going to call it a widget.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't matter.
So you're going to call somebody up and say, hey, Mr. Amazon, I've got $25,000, and they're going to go, call back when you got 250,000, because you're not buying anything for 25 grand. You can buy a tractor trailer load of store returns for 25 grand.
Yeah.
Like I can put you in touch with what's the people that sell all the outdoor furniture. What are they called?
Wait, what?
The company that sells nothing but outdoor furniture, Casual Leaders, right? So I could tell you the guy that handles a wholesale for them, and you could buy for 25 grand would get you a truckload of custom returns from Leaders. But you know what you got? You got a truckload of broken shit that people have returned, and then you've got to be able to fix it, piece it out, restring them, recover them, and then you don't have $25,000 anymore. So the problem with wanting to invest all the money you have is that.
Make sure that you only invest what you have, and make sure you invest in what can sell. Like, you got to be able to at least get your capital back. You can't just hope and wish that you're going to get it back. Don't be like me. That's your tip. That's your tip for the night. Don't be like the Rockstar.
But don't be like me.
Right. So shipping on furniture is a piece of cake. Because let me tell you how that works. You buy it, you refurb it, you restring it, you recover it, you've got it go, it's ready, it's beautiful, it's amazing. You call Amazon and you say, hey, I've got 10,000 pieces of furniture that I want to put up for sale. At that moment, they're going to go, hi, this is your dedicated rep. No problem. We'll schedule a pickup. We'll even pay for the shipping to us. It won't cost you a thing to ship. That's what Amazon will do for you when you've got that much material. See, everything is based on how much you've got. See? And when you only have a few things or 1,000 items, you got no leverage. You can't do anything. That's why the bins are where to start, but you hate bins.
It's true. Yeah, when you got small money, the bins are the cheapest place to go. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, again, you go back to thrift stores, Salvation Army, pawn shops. You pick an item. Pick one item that
you do well on, that you're doing really good on.
Shop.
Yeah, pick the item you're doing the best on.
Have you made videos, Casey, on your pawn shop route when you go to 30 pawn shops in one day?
Yep, I got a video recently in the last couple weeks.
So link that video so everybody can understand what it takes. See, this isn't you're going to go and you're going to buy 2 iPods, and yep, iPods will sell probably as quick as you can get them listed. You put an iPod up, boom, it'll be sold, right? But it's not 2 you need, right? You need to go to 40 pawn shops. You got to do it every day, all day, and every pawn shop's only going to have one. You could spend days and not buy anything.
It's happened.
That's right.
My pawn shop video from the other day actually is approaching, I think, over 10,000 views. I'm not sure if it's over 10,000 or not, but a lot of you are interested in that. My bins are in the hood of Baltimore. You got to go to the bad neighborhoods to get it. That pawn shop video was so popular because people don't go to pawn shops. People don't understand that you can start sourcing items. And even though the pawn shops, you only get a few items out of each one, you can make that route and hit 15, 20 stores and end up with 100, 150 items every day. I've bought on some days, like video games, iPods, combination, I'll come home with 250, 300 items. But what's important is you learn from those buying experiences what items that you need to target in bulk. So then you start finding locations. Like you guys saw I was buying Fluke multimeters and testers. I could only get 1 or 2 per store, so I'd only come home with 10 or 15. But then I realized to start going online and looking for them elsewhere. And all of a sudden I started getting 30, 40, 50 of them a month. I was getting like 2 a day. So you just start learning the items and making those lists. I tell you guys about the list I keep in my phone all the time of items I'm always looking for. So use your small time buying to build yourself up, build some income, build some money to reinvest, and then build a list of items to target in bigger quantity. That's the important thing.
And you can do pawn shops 7 days a week.
They are open 7 days a week. And
so I'm going to tell you guys the story, since you're all here, about the Flukes. So one Saturday morning, Casey calls me, hey, what you doing? And I'm like,
no. Going to pawn shop.
Because it's Saturday morning, Casey, and I'm doing nothing. He goes, come on, I want to go pawn shops. So he comes by, and I fall into the I-8, by the way, because you can't get in and out of that car because it's not a real car, and I'm fat. And I fell into the car, and I'm like, oh, great. You're gonna have to pull me out. So he's like, yeah, cool, let's go. So we go to pawn shop and we go in and he goes over and he's looking at all the shit that he can't buy. And so I'm over here going, hey, have you bought any of these test sets? What do you do with those? 30 a month later, that's what you do with those. You know what you don't buy at pawn shops? Laptops.
Yeah,
okay, because laptops are a sucker's bet at pawn shops. You lose your shirt on laptops. Camera lenses at pawn shops. Excellent purchases. They want $80 for it. You offer them $50 for it. You put it on Amazon for $90. You just made yourself a $40 profit after fees and shipping. You made 25 bucks. Boom. You know how hard it is to get camera lenses at pawn shops? It's impossible.
Yeah,
you got to put a lot of time and effort into it. None of this happens overnight. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of pawn shops. And when you make friends with the managers at the pawn shops, because you're in there every day begging and pleading, because that's what you're doing. You're going to beg and plead. And you can't be ashamed to grovel. I grovel. I beg.
Yeah, I
go in and you beg. And every time the guy gets a camera lens, hey, he calls you. Hey, man, I just got a lens in. I thought you'd want it. Man, I'll drive across town at 100 miles an hour to get that lens for 50 bucks that I'm going to make $25 on. Every time. Lens to what else? Camera lenses.
Fluke meters.
Fluke test equipment. You got to look the stuff up, understand which ones you can make. In a pawn shop, you can always negotiate. The prices are not set in stone. What the fuck is a fluke? A fluke is a test measurement tool that tests electricity, right? So it's a multimeter, right? So everybody in the electronics field uses them, right? And they're very expensive. They're like $100. You can pick them up for $50, $30, sell them for $80. Everything in a pawn shop is negotiable. Except what, Casey? What's not negotiable?
Normally for me is anything I'm trying to buy. If I come in the door, it's not negotiable. But as soon as I walk in the door, they're like, that guy drives an I-8, no deals. I give them my sales tax certificate and they rip it up in front of me. Usually they'll negotiate with me on flukes. They'll negotiate with me on iPods, camera lenses for the most part. I'll get pretty good.
All right, so see, here we got somebody making a list. Fantastic, right? Yep. I'm going to tell you guys something interesting about pawn shops.
What can you not negotiate on? Let's say on top.
You can't. Right, well, video game. A lot of video games like Pokemon.
No, everything in a pawn shop is negotiable. Everything is not buyable. So you got to be realistic about that.
Well, yeah, that's true too, because they'll price something at like $100 that's worth like 80 or 90, and I'll go, listen, I can give you 50, 60 bucks, and they'll be like, we'll come down to 80. So it was negotiable, but I can't make a profit, so it's not buyable. That's what he means by that. Even though they come down on the price, they've priced it so high that no matter how far down they come, you're still not going to be able to buy it. Yeah.
And we can keep talking about flukes all day because, listen, there's like 200 different types of these things. And every one of you guys get up in the morning and go to the nearest pawn shop, and I promise you, they're going to have some brand, some model of fluke in there.
At least one, yeah. Most of my pawn shops have like 3 or 4.
They have other terrible makes
unbranded names, bad brands.
Yeah, don't even fall for those.
No, those ones don't sell. If you don't see a fluke one, even if you see that the price is okay, they don't sell. They have low sell rates. They're just I bought one that was like a Radio Shack brand. It sat here forever, and I finally sold it at a loss. So, just
target the cloud locked iPhones for parts. That's the way to get your eBay account closed forever.
Yeah, stay away from iCloud lock phone. All it takes is one guy to say that iPhone or iPod was potentially stolen.
I got a Mickey shirt on with Mickey.
All it takes is one person to say.
That's right. There you go.
You sold him a stolen iPhone or iPod or whatever. It doesn't even have to have been stolen. It could have just been somebody that forgot their info. But if somebody says it, if somebody tells eBay they think it's stolen, you're done. They will close your account. Stay away from it. Microscopes are expensive. I don't see a lot of microscopes at pawn shops. I haven't come across them. It's possible if you see one, then it's valuable. So check it out. But I've never seen one.
I'm going to go no on the satellite boxes.
I don't think they would sell very good. I haven't seen those either. Pawn shops pay 30 to 40%, not where I'm at. Pawn shops pay 10%. If an item's worth 100, 200 bucks, they're offering somebody $10, $20 for it, like 10%, so that they can mark it up to, you know, making double their money, or at least, if not triple. So, Jada Kid, we will, thank you. Yeah, guys, if you haven't liked this video already, it looks like most of you have, but if you haven't, make sure to go down in the corner and like the video. I appreciate you guys being here, even though I had some camera malfunctions, which I'll get all worked out. I didn't charge it, that's all, it kept dying. You want to see you on Shark Tank. Being on Shark Tank wouldn't be fair because they would have to like edit that video down from like 8 hours of the back and forth.
It's bad enough that I threw out a few curse words, so I don't even know what's going to happen to Casey's channel now because of it, because he tries to keep it nice and clean. It's not
going to be YouTube friendly, and they're going to take the video down.
Probably.
What else to avoid at pawn shops besides laptop and iPhones?
Tools.
Tools are usually too many tools for sale, too inundated. Car audio is really bad. It's really hard to tell if the speakers are still good or popping, and if they're going to start popping soon. Car audio amplifiers, you can almost always see the corrosion or the frying from where they overpowered it. I would stay away from car audio amplifiers. Have good margins, but there's a reason, because the pawn shops discount them so deep because they don't know the history of them either. That guy could have just had it in his car, like blasting the whole town for months, and that thing's ready to go. So I would kind of avoid those as well. I would say the other thing in pawn shops that whenever I go in,
look up those flukes. Yeah, every model's different. They're all negotiable, right?
Yeah, flukes range from $100 on up to, I've sold one for $350 used. So there's a huge range on those flukes. Huge range.
Listen, sewing machines are too heavy to ship. Guitars are too heavy to ship. Like
guitars are too hard to ship.
That's like a local sale on a local Facebook sale or local Craigslist sale.
If you can get it at a good deal and you know the market to sell it locally, then absolutely. But otherwise, you can't ship that stuff. No way.
No, by no means. And if people that have a little bit of money and they know something about jewelry, there's actually a very interesting thing that pawn shops do. You go and you ask the manager when they're going to do their 30-day clean out, and you can do a wholesale purchase of all the jewelry that they're removing every 30 days. Now, you got to have $3,000 or $4,000 because you're going to be buying it at whatever the current, how do they do it, Casey? The current gold weight or something like that?
So they discount it under current smelt price. So, okay, so here's your guys' pawn shop secret tips for the night, day, month, year, for the rest of your life. Whenever an item goes older than 30 days in a pawn shop, it's considered old inventory. Once it hits the 60 or sometimes 90 day, they call it aged. And what aged means is it is counting against the pawn shop's overall profit numbers for the month. And pawn shops work on numbers, period, especially corporate stores. If they make $50,000 in profit, but they carried over $10,000 worth of aged 90-day merchandise, that hurts their profit numbers, and they don't make their commissions, their bonuses, their numbers. And so the biggest problem with that is when they hold all that inventory and it keeps not selling, they got to get rid of it. So you can go in and ask a manager of a pawn shop or somebody, where is your aged merchandise? What do you have available? They will typically take it down to cost or under cost. With gold, they will take it down to smelt value or 10 to 20% under smelt value, which will allow you to buy it at a discount where you can not only resell it at a profit as a piece, you could even smelt it or send it off to a melter yourself and still make a profit. They just want it off their books. They don't care how much they get for it. They want it gone. And that's what you have to ask for. And
that is corporate pawn shops, yes.
Yeah, that's corporate.
Independents are a complete nightmare to deal with on everything.
The independent guys don't care. They just know they paid $20 for an item and they've got it listed at 100. They haven't sold it for 3 months, so now they want 80. And if you offer them 50, they're like, no, it's salted. Well, dude, you paid 20. You're making a profit. Just get rid of it. And they're just like, no. So mom and pops are tough. Some mom and pops underprice stuff big time, and you can get lucky. But most mom and pops are really hard. I make a lot of money off
mom and pops on video games it's incredibly difficult to make deals with them on video games because they're a complete pain in the ass.
Yeah, the mom and pops, they have a one-track mind. They bought it for something. They want to sell. That's all they're going to do. And you have to if you can make a good relationship with them. I have a few good relationships locally where the guys are just like, yeah, I bought this stuff for $20. Can you just come get it out of here? And so that's what I do. The other ones, I just avoid them. I have a list of the ones that are like, this is a nice guy. He'll make me deals. This guy's okay. Catch this guy on his good day. Don't talk to this guy. Like, that's my list, pretty much.
So, Casey, on the age inventory, do they mark it, or is it in a different area?
No. So most of the time, well, they do have clearance tracks, and so you can always look at the clearance track. But a lot of the aged inventory will go in the back because remember, pawn shops locally only have so much shelf space. They don't have a lot of retail real estate to work with, so they'll put a lot of it in the back to put newer, fresher merchandise out. If you ask for aged merchandise, typically they'll take you to the back room. Chris the Bonafide talked about this on his channel the other day. Had I ever been in the back room of pawn shops? The answer is yes, and pretty much every pawn shop I've ever been into has invited me to the back room. It is full of stuff.
Back there for other reasons.
Occasionally. However, when I go in the back rooms of pawn shops, the amount of merchandise that's marked, like, okay, so I was in there in December, and I was looking at merchandise marked December, and I'm like, you guys haven't even had this. And I'm like, oh, December 2014. I apologize. Woo. I'll give you $5 for this. So ask for the age inventory, make a friend and a sales guy or a manager or whatever. You will get to see that stuff. And when you get to see it, don't go after a $50 item and offer them 50 or 40 or 30. Offer them 5 because they want to move it. They want it gone. You'll get huge deals.
Right. And then another thing you can do when you're in a pawn shop, and this is something I did years ago, I'd go in there and I want to buy an item. So what I would do is I would say, I want to buy the fluke. All right. So I go over and I'm looking at the camera lenses and I would be like, hey, you know, guys, you're actually selling those for like $20 less than you should be. And I strike up a conversation about some of the stuff they're selling too cheap, but I'm not interested in buying it.
Yeah.
And pretty soon we're buddies and they feel like I've helped them out with information, which is a complete untruth. And then when I go to make a deal with them on the fluke, I make them feel like that's too high, that was too low, and you can actually get them to lower their pricing that way.
Correct. Yeah, making friends with those employees is key. And that's everywhere. That's anywhere you go that you have the option. But I make friends with anybody and everybody. And there's only really one guy that I've really ever gotten a fight, aggravated argument with. And I don't ever go back to the store. And it probably wasn't worth it anyways. But just be nice to everybody. Even if they're like... No,
you need to make friends to get aged inventory, man. You're not going to walk into a pawn shop and go, hey, I want to buy your aged inventory for pennies.
Yeah, no.
Is that cool, dude?
No, they're going to point you to the clearance shelf with the 6 items on the clearance shelf. They're not just going to invite you into the back room.
Joe H is asking, do you ever recommend buying from storage units? You want to share?
Storage units, please don't.
Yeah.
No, okay, listen. So without interruption, the storage unit business is something that I've been well involved in. This was 7 years ago, probably 6, 7 years ago, before it was on TV, before it got
before it was cool.
Yeah, before it was. That's right.
Before it was cool to be on TV and buy storage units. Very few people knew that storage units was a successful way to make money business. So when you go to a storage unit auction, there would be like 4 people there or 5 people. You could bid $20 on a unit and they just give it to you. They couldn't give these things away fast enough. As soon as it went on TV, there would be like 500 people there, and a unit that had like a dining room table only in it would sell for like $8,000 because people would just bid it up and it would go nuts and you couldn't make any money. So back when I actually bought them and made money, paying, I tell the story of we bought that one unit that was $300, and after our buyer fee, we were like $330 for it. And it was full of that stripper stuff that had like those 100 pair of high heels. She had the digital camera. She had her boyfriend's tools. She had the TV. She had the mechanics box with all the wrenches in it. She had the video games. She had everything imaginable. We sold $3,000-$4,000 worth of stuff on her unit. Those are the days. But now it's hard. Once it went on TV and they started saying, oh, every storage unit you go in has a diamond ring, everybody's like, oh my God, I'm just going to pay $1,000 for every storage unit. And people were done. And so that's how it goes now. Storage units, TV ruined it. TV didn't ruin it. Reality TV ruined storage units because they made people believe that when you bought a storage unit, you were going to get, a copy of the Declaration of Independence or a diamond ring or whatever it was. And people really thought that was going to happen. They didn't. People are the masses. Guys, don't take this wrong, but the masses of people are stupid. They believe this crap that they see on TV. And they don't understand that this doesn't happen. I bought dozens of storage, dozens. I went 1 week and we bought 5 or 6 units in 1 week, and we didn't make crap. We made a few $100s off of it. I mean, it just doesn't happen.
I gave up reality TV and I just watch YouTube now.
Yeah, YouTube. Well, somebody just said they were playing good units for storagers. Yeah, sell it, yeah. So everybody just, it was really a bad thing when storage units went on TV. It was terrible, and I noticed it immediately. I was literally at a storage auction one day with 5 people, and the next day with like 200 people. It was ridiculous. So that's why, yes, for those of you that don't know, anybody that watched Storage Wars, the original Dave Hester, who went, he left Storage Wars because it was fake, and he was tired of lying to the audience. He was tired of it being staged, and
Isn't that the case with most reality programs on TV?
Yeah, it's 1,000% true. If they can't drum up the drama or the intrigue or the excitement or the money or whatever it is, they're going to insert it into the show. They have to, otherwise no one's going to watch. No one watches, no advertising, no money. So Dave Hester didn't like that, and he left the show. He got sued by whatever it was, TLC or whoever did that show, because he outed them as fake, saying, hey, Barry didn't really buy a diamond engagement ring that was worth 20 grand. They put that in there from a diamond shop for the show. So, you guys got to be careful if you're going to storage units. I'm not saying you can't buy something that's going to make a lot of money, but don't bank on it. Yeah, that 1930s Coke machine that they put into the unit one time, he paid like $200 for the unit, and the Coke machine was worth like $15,000. No, absolutely not. There's 2 of those Coke machines in the entire country. One is in a museum, and one is owned by the family of the Coke people. Trust me, he didn't find it in a storage unit. They rented it. They put it in a thing. Trust me. The only 2 in the world. In one of the units, they had like a shuttle from the NASA company or something.
Okay, it's okay. Calm down. It's okay. Rant over.
I hate that show.
Oh, got it.
Hate that show with a passion.
Got it.
Anyways.
Somebody said something about do the broken iPods have to work?
No, we sell them. I've sold dead ones that don't power on, don't charge, don't do anything. They're not worth much.
But what's our lesson on that? Make sure that it's in the title of the item.
Yes, title, description, body, everything. But if you're buying something that's not working, totally broken, destroyed, pay a couple bucks for it, sell it for the parts. Somebody will want it for the screen that's good, or for the battery that may or may not be good. They might want it for the buttons. They might want it for the casing. There's always reasons to sell it. I do that all the time. What about the locker full of Elvis's dead newspapers? Oh, the 100,000 newspapers, fake. Trust me, it's every episode is fake. Believe me. Believe me. Did Dave leave to go buy pallets? It's possible. It's only midnight. It's not his sleep time yet.
I think it's his 3rd time up, isn't it?
It is. He had to go. I'll tell you where he went. Never mind. You guys know where he went. Is there an eBay reality show? No, but I definitely should be in line to do one. I feel like I should do that. I should start it.
Hey, Casey. So way back in the chat, somebody said that they're using Ross as a way to buy stuff, right? So they're going and doing the clearance thing in Ross, right? Which is really nice. So really the lesson is you have to find a product that kind of fits you and you understand. You have to stick with what you know. Like, as much as we could say, oh, flukes sell, you need to know about them.
You got to learn a little. You got to educate yourself, yeah.
You need to know how to reset them, change batteries in them. You buy these things used from a pawn shop, and they may or may not work right, and you're not going to know it. And you're going to put it up for sale. You can cause yourself some grief, right? Or you can go to Ross and you can buy new clothes off the clearance, right? Right. So here's how that works. Retail arbitrage. You go to Ross. You buy 20 or 30 things, you take them home, you put them up on eBay for sale. In 29 days, it doesn't sell, you take them back and return them. And then you have no inventory. But you're only going to do that a few times before your local Ross is going to start going, hey, you're returning a lot of stuff. So if you plan on buying the inventory because you know it's going to sell and you're going to put it up and you're just going to stick with it, you're right. Nikes, Jordans. Come on. We all know that stuff. Yeah. You know what? You know how hard it is to find that stuff every time? It's really hard. So you can't hang your hat on it. And I wouldn't, you got to buy a few flukes. You got to go buy a few Nike jackets.
And that goes back to the not limiting yourself to one product. Like,
right. 100%. Diversify. You can't get stuck in one thing. We're only going to buy and sell iPods. We're only going to buy and sell flukes. as much as you want to go out and find all these flukes, you can't. And as much as you want to go find these Nike jackets, you can't. And you got to go to Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Big Lots, Burlington Coat Factory. Man, the deals that you can get, at, who's the shoe store that Burlington owns? What do they call, Casey? What's it called? D&K, the shoe store that Burlington owns.
What are they called? DSW?
Burlington owns a shoe store. And you can go in there on every 2 or 3 weeks and they'll have brand new shoes on clearance that's ridiculous. You can make huge money.
I'm not a shoe guy. Everybody knows I'm not a shoe guy.
Well, because the weight to ship them is, it's problematic.
Casey, didn't you just try doing some shoes recently?
I did a few pair of shoes. I did some kid Heelys that sold okay. The kids' shoes sell okay. I did some women's Cole Haan.
That's right.
Yeah,
I did some
DSW. Burlington owns them, right? Right. So there are 2 shoe manufacturers that supply DSW shoes that are branded in the United States. One is in Texas and one is in California. And if you lived or you were willing to drive a couple of 100 miles, you can go to those plants that make them and buy directly from them.
There's a lot of them out. They're located in California. A lot of them out in California that like the wholesale and the distribution and the manufacturer warehouses.
Yeah, there are. And you can go there and you can buy. Was it Uggs? Was Uggs one of them that you could buy? You can buy them for like $15 for a $6.
Well, they do like warehouse defect shoes. Like if a pair came off the line and it was defected, instead of them putting them out for sale for $100, they'll sell them wholesale for like $20.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. But you got to live near there. And you got to be willing to take a chance on it, because if the defect is noticeable, but it's no different than if you go to Ross and Marshalls and you buy that, because Ross and Marshalls are second and third runs.
Yeah, most of them have sat on the shelves at other stores because they have some defect. Exactly. So it depends on the defect. Some defects people don't care about. They'll be like, oh, it's whatever, I'll buy it. Some defects may never sell in a million years. Even though you think it's not so bad, everybody else thinks it's terrible. So you have to be very careful about that. But you can get a really great deal on it.
Yeah, I'm sure from Northern California, there's a lot of manufacturers, whether it's clothes, I mean, there's so much stuff. Once you can get to those manufacturers, hell, you can go dumpster diving behind the building and get stuff.
I wouldn't recommend it, because they're probably a little more secure on their dumpsters than Kirkland's was for Pete's.
I wouldn't get too excited over 200 Beanie Babies. And out of 200 of them, you're probably going to have one that's worth $10.
Wait, but people are doing that because I sold 200 Beanie Babies this month.
Oh, is that what that is? Because 199 of them worth 50 cents.
I lotted them all up. I sold lots of 20. I sold like 10 lots.
MJM Designer Shoes is a very good place to get incredible deals on shoes.
They're cheap for their resale pricing is okay. It depends on the brand. Some of their brands are good.
That's a volume deal. So you got to be able to go every day and buy 20 or 30 pairs. You put them all up. Expect to have whatever your sell-through rate's going to be. Hold inventory. Lose your working capital. Shoes are a dangerous game. That's a big gamble.
Big price tag.
Wait, are we going to do a dumpster dive video this weekend? Are we going out?
Well, the question is, which one of us is going to the dumpster?
Casey.
I'll go. If we can
get her.
You know what?
Can we go to the mall? Can we dumpster dive at Victoria's Secret?
Oh, we're gonna get Casey. We're gonna get videos of the kids going in. That's gonna be a whole series of videos.
And then we'll all be in jail for child endangerment.
On Dave and I.
Yeah, Nordstrom Rack all over the U.S. Anybody can go to Nordstrom Rack, go to the clearance section, pick out something. Maybe it's gonna sell. You can't get enough of that to sustain. You're gonna get a little 90% off. That's right. You're gonna get a couple of good things today. Next week you get a couple of good things. Then you got to go out and you got to get you some flukes. You got to get you some iPods. You got to, it's again.
Wait, can we go to the mall and dumpster dive? We're echoing.
You're echoing.
Not me. Can we go to the mall and dumpster dive behind Victoria's Secret? Like, all the doors are numbered.
Understanding of dumpster diving is theft, because they own the dumpster and they're going to say, well, we were just putting our inventory in there and you can't steal it. Understand that. It is against the law to go in a dumpster.
Wait, so how do all these people film? Shouldn't they go to jail for being on video?
And they will, as soon as someone calls the police.
Somebody says, Emmanuel says, dumpster diving behind the outlets. Yeah, didn't I film that where I was behind the Lakeland Goodwill outlet and I showed you all the, maybe I just videoed it and showed you all the stuff they were just taking the bins out when people weren't buying it, just dumping the bins into a compactor. All the stuff that didn't sell in the Goodwill outlets, they were just dumping. And I was like, what? Stop dumping it. Back a truck up and take it all.
Yeah, when people are when you see people are like, you know, there's a guy that sells it looks like he's got some secret hookup with GNC where he's selling all these products out of GNC. He's actually doing the scratch and dent stuff. GNC actually has a distribution program where for like $3,000 or $4,000 you can buy a variety of their scratch dented. You know, it's like the bent and dent store. Well, GNC does that. And I think it's north of Orlando where you can buy that stuff, but you got to have a big enough account on Amazon to get approved to be able to sell that material. So that's the problem, because you're in the drug, food. GNC stock is tanking. Yeah, well, yeah, it's tanking. It's tanking right now, you know, until, you know, people start working out, whatever.
Yeah. Oh God, D Hector just posted one I gotta delete. Sorry, man, I can't leave that one up. I apologize. Gone. Sorry.
Oh.
Somebody found a vintage Chanel purse in the bins. Make sure it's real. Take it to Chanel and get it.
Yeah,
Alta has security guards patrol the lots. That's crazy because people have been dumpster diving Alta like crazy.
Yeah, because they're throwing such good material in the dumpster.
That's bonkers. Yeah. Holy crap, we've been on an hour and 40 minutes. I'm going to get ready to go because I just realized what time it is. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. You guys have stuck around. Almost 160 people stuck around this long. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts.
A 2-hour live. That's right. Well, I'm going to start putting up videos. If you guys can go to my channel, there's nothing there, but I'm going to start putting up videos.
All right, hold on. I'm going to link the channel. I'm going to link the
stuff.
Wait, I'm going to link the channel below. Give me just a second. Hang on. I'm editing it right now. Okay, what is the link to the channel?
It's
youtube.com. What's the name? /what? Do you know?
I did. Extra money.
That's it?
I'm extra money. Yeah, what do you want me to say?
Yeah, but I need the actual URL for people to find.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my God, hold on. I'm trying to find
I thought you could just mouse over my name when I say hi in the chat.
No, it doesn't work that way, no. But good effort. Is it all one word or two simple words?
Extra money, 2 words. Extra money.
Can you go to the
That's right. Lindsay, Dave and Casey can't get in a word in over each other. That's pretty much their relationship.
I can't see the chat right now. Can you
have silent?
All right, well, I'll link the thing below, so if you want to check it out in a few minutes. I'm going back to the chat because I can't see anything. Just make sure that you guys come back and check it out. Give it a few minutes. I'm trying to find it. I can't find the link, so.
I don't know. I thought you could just mouse right over me.
No, you can't. You can't do that.
You can't? Because I just did it and it goes to my channel.
Go to your videos and then grab the...
Yeah, it goes right to my channel.
I'm moused over you and it's not doing anything.
You just click on my name, extra money, and it takes you right to my. Takes you right to my channel.
Oh, I got it. Okay, I got it. You're right.
See that? You just click on my name.
Okay, I'm linking it down below. So if you guys want to go check out the channel, you can definitely do that. It'll be in there in about 5 seconds. Hang on.
You know, I don't actually have a Facebook yet, so Casey just told me it's okay. So I'm like, thanks, man. So I actually gotta make a video. I'm gonna have to get him to come to my channel and make a video, and then he's gonna be like, you're gonna cook me dinner, you know, something like that. Because Casey doesn't, you know.
Sounds about right.
I'm cheap. Just make me food. Okay, I just linked it so everybody can find it after we go off right now. So thanks for sticking around so late. I'll get the camera charged so the next time we can have better quality, like I had at the beginning, instead of this crappy webcam quality.
I do not listen to Casey. We will get that straight right now.
He does.
He actually said one thing to me today, and it made me laugh. So I might have been listening, but it was funny. I'm not sure it was serious. So that was about the extent of it.
Don't worry. I have a great 5.5-minute video I recorded tonight that I'll share at another time. Oh,
now, see, So you just don't,
for everybody that's still listening to the video that we've been promising for the last couple of weeks is going to be up in the next week. We're going to try to film it by the end of this weekend. And I'll go over there. We'll get together. You guys know what video I'm talking about, from nothing to something. We'll get it up, and make sure you get subscribed over to his channel. And we'll leave you with that. Thanks for staying up so late. Thanks for staying on so long, almost 2 hours. And we'll be on live again. I don't know what day, but we'll let you guys know. I'll announce it and send out notifications and all. So make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you the next time we're on live. Thanks for being here,
everybody. It's been great.
Thank you.
Adios, everybody. We're going off.